We're back to the Neil Haley show. And when I love talking the law of attraction, I love my guest again, Rika Rivka Markel. Rika, thanks for stopping by. And you know what? The law of attraction, everyone wants to talk about. We kind of broke down a history of it, more of your understanding of how you utilize it. But what happens when it doesn't work and it's not working out for you? What do you
Okay.
do? Do you give up or you keep going?
This is my favorite question of all because, and I will explain it a little bit later, because there is no such thing as the law of attraction not working. The law of attraction is always on 24/7. There is no such thing as the law of attraction is not working, because it would be the same thing as saying that the law of gravity is not working. So there is no such thing as giving up. What people do is they forget to be aware of what they are thinking. So they're trying and they're trying and they're trying, but because they are trying and it's not working, what they're focused on is on the idea that it is not working. So what are you going to get if you focus on it's not working? It's not going to work. So it's just a matter of consciousness and being aware of what is going on in your head.
Because when you say it's not working, other things will stop working, right? Because if you're saying it's not working, then other things in your life that you thought maybe were working with the law of attraction have disappeared quickly if you're saying it's not working.
Yeah, I think that we have to get out of the framework that it is something that can work or not work. We just have to embody the idea that it is always working the same as the law of gravity. There is no doubt. There is no a switch that you turn on and off. It doesn't, that's not how it is. But people are going to treat it that way because they say, for me, the law of attraction is not working, but that does not exist. So the answer is to the idea it's not working is integrated just the same way that the law of gravity is integrated. We are not doubting. We're not standing outside, jumping up, jumping up, jumping up, thinking that we're gonna fly at one point. We don't do that, but we do expect that from the law of attraction. So that's why sometimes we have the idea that it is not working.
Okay. So what do you do when you feel you're not getting the results you want? Let's say it's not working. It's not going quickly enough.
Okay,
What's the next phase? Yeah.
what to do if you don't get the results? The first thing is become aware. The awareness is always key. So you become aware and you sit with yourself and you say, okay, I expected it to have manifested already and it is not in my life. So what are my thoughts about this? So let's say you want to, I'm going to make it very simple. Let's say you want to manifest a car. And after 6 months, still no car. It's not happening. You don't have the money to buy the car. And then you sit with yourself and you say, okay, is there a reason? Is there something in my life that is that where there is a benefit of not having a car? Because that is usually what holds you back. If there is still something that is serving you by not getting your wishes fulfilled. And that is something that a lot of people don't think about. For example, and I'm talking about, let's say, the car. And I am so addicted to my old car. I think my old car is amazing, but I know it's gonna drop dead any time. I need a new car, but I love my car so much that I cannot let go of that car. So now the new car is not gonna come to me because I am so connected to that old car. I don't want to let it go in my mind. I cannot let, like, I cannot make the space for that new car. My new car is not going to show up because there is something in my being that is not allowing the car to show up in my reality because I'm still so connected to the old car. It's just an example. It's like almost a very simple example, but that is usually one of the reasons why things don't show up because we don't create the space for the new stuff to come in.
And that's so Crete. It's really you didn't want. It's not really what you wanted, right? You picked something on your list, and it's not really wanted or desired. Because
It
that
is what you want. It is what you want, but subconsciously, there is something holding you back. So this is one of the reasons. Another reason in your subconsciousness can be like you want a car, but you want a Porsche. I'm just making it up. You want the Porsche, but your father always says people with Porsches are very nasty people. So in your consciousness, you have that limited belief that if you're going to get a Porsche, you're going to be a nasty person because that's what you have trained in your brain from when you were a child. It's not going to happen because your mind is going to protect you from that damage. Your mind's first, your mind is always going to try to keep you safe. And safe means what's familiar. And what's familiar is what you got programmed when you were a baby.
And I think a lot of the law of attraction also has to do with what you truly want and desire. Like, let me give you an example in your subconscious as well. If you're thinking, I truly want this, yeah, your body, your mind says it doesn't in the subconscious, but also you really, your conscious doesn't want it either. You're just saying you're being directed by somebody else to do it, and
Yeah.
it doesn't feel good for you, even though that's what I'm looking to do. It's going to always fail,
Yeah. So
right?
that's a third reason why things could, why it could be that it is not working when your dreams are not your dreams, but somebody else's dreams. And that can happen when you're in a partnership. Maybe your partner wants something, but you're not so convinced, but you go with it because it's part, like, let's say you want to make a cruise around the world and your partner is so into that cruise, but you're a little bit afraid of boats. You don't want to be on the water, but you think it's an exciting idea, but inside subconsciously you're not so connected to it. So that's another reason why. Then you're so right, like sometimes we want what other people want, we
Right.
think we want it, but it's not really authentic for us.
Right. And when you finally figure out it's your dream, then we become creators. When you finally figure out that dream, what if we feel like you're on this path, everything's going well, and then bam, something hits you? What do you do? Because you know you're creating all this, and then something comes in the road and just hits you out of
Yeah.
nowhere. It could be health, it could be just a week of just or just something. How do you begin again? And how do you make sure you stay focused on what you really want?
Okay. I think everybody that is trying to create a dream life or trying to create a better life for themselves, we all get to the point where we run with our nose against the wall, and it can be in many forms. What do you do at that point? You just don't focus on what is going wrong, because if you focus on what's going wrong, you give it energy and that's going to grow. So you refocus. You don't focus on what's not working, you focus on what's working. You're also going to try to raise your vibration, and raising your vibration you can do that in multiple times. I would just recommend people to go on my YouTube channel and find the videos about how to raise your vibration, because that is a topic that I can talk about all day long.
That'll
But
be another topic for another show, and especially a YouTube channel. If people are seeing the shorts, go listen to watch all the other videos. I
yeah,
want to get to vibrations for a second because that is very true. Give you an example. I had this unbelievable call with my film guy. We got some huge things coming, but my subconscious is, am I going to be able to still get to this with all the other things I'm doing? But I'm making a quantum leap to say I can, because it's truly what I want to do. This is what I missed for years, not being in the entertainment industry. Now I'm really working on something. Watch one Tyler Perry documentary and then talk to somebody, and then here I go. That's what's fun for me. That's where my vibrations are at the greatest high level,
yeah,
where I feel like everything just works. But when your vibrations get lowered, how do you elevate them? Because I think that is probably one of the biggest things. Your subconscious can always lower your vibrations, but also just the circumstance of what just happened 2 hours ago can. That's
yeah,
the challenge. So that the law of attraction will always work. You're just attracting the wrong things because of
yeah,
your vibrations. So let's kind of go back to how do we keep our vibrations in that area?
yeah. So there are a couple of things that let's start with what I do, and that works for me all the time. When I feel like my mood is I'm a little depressed or whatever it is that I feel like I'm a little down, I start listening to music that inspires me. And immediately I can feel my vibration going up. So I will turn on some music. I will, if I can, if I'm in a place where it's possible, I will move on it. So because that is going to let the energy flow again, and it's going to raise my vibration. So that's my quick way of doing it. Another way, if let's say I'm in a place, you enter a room. Let's say you go to a party, you enter the room, and you can feel already that your vibration is going down just because of the people that are there.
Right.
We are social creatures, so we pick up the energy from the people around us. And let's say we go in and it doesn't feel right. So at that moment, you're not going to be able to turn on the music and do like a little dance. It's not going to happen. So what I do then is I try to bring my heart and my brain in coherence. And I can do that by just a couple of deep conscious breaths with some, I visualize in where I'm standing. I don't even have to close my eyes. And within 10 seconds, 30 seconds, I'm back to where I'm supposed to be. The goal is, or the trick is in a way, to catch yourself immediately when you feel that your vibration is going down.
And that can be, if we're defining this not in law of attraction terms, but in psychological terms, it's getting you're starting to feel a little bit depressed, or you're feeling a little bit saddened, or you're feeling a little bit low, down in the dumps. That's a vibration to really feel it. We're all taught it's okay to be down in the dumps. Start talking bad about other people. Start thinking about those things, which is making things even worse. So when you start feeling that low down in the dumps, you know your vibrations there. You got to redo it. And so you think about something that's really making you excited, something that really makes you happy, something that you're really desiring or can't wait for it to happen, then your vibrations go back up, right?
Yeah, 100%. And that is something that people underestimate. We're taught, or we have learned behavior that when we are down, that it is a normal response, which it is in a way, but our feelings, our emotions, they're giving us information on where we are, like where are we on a vibrational scale. And we can, if we are very self-aware, like the law of attraction works best for people that are extremely self-aware. They can just grab that down immediately, and they can also have a very good focus. They can focus on what they want much better than people that are not so self-aware. If you're not self-aware, and again, self-awareness is something that you can learn. It's not something that you just have. You can have it, but everybody can learn how to become more self-aware. Once you understand your body, you will also be much more in tune with your vibration. And it is like what they say, like the law of attraction is a secondary law. The law of vibration is the primary law. And the law of attraction is just a result. You will attract what you, on the level that you vibrate on. If you feel good, you're gonna attract good
You're
stuff.
going to feel really good.
If you feel bad, you will attract bad stuff. So
And that's the key. Oh my gosh. But let's just say in human psychology, for people that are still, I'm not buying this. If you would study psychology, it's bottom line. If we're in the down in the dumps, we're not going to perform well. If we're sad, we're not going to perform well. If we're angry, we're going to make the wrong decisions and are going to get addicted to different things. But ultimately, psychologists just go to science, the law of attraction. If you follow those things, in psychology, the problem is it's okay to be sad. It's okay to talk bad and to let your feelings out. Well, sometimes those feelings will keep you from, like, I'll go to a therapist, and if I talk about certain things in my life that were terrible, it takes me 3 days to recover. We don't have 3 days to recover. That's why practicing what you preach is way better than going to a therapist and feeling bad for next 4 days.
well, I am not going to say that in certain cases it is a good thing to talk about what's going on or what went on in your life, but there comes a point that you have to stop talking about it. and get over it, because but talking about it, you are going to recreate it
Recreate it over and over again. So you're saying
I
it's
tell
okay
you
to,
why. I'm
but
going to
you're
tell you why. Because if you went through something that it really bothered you, you have very strong emotions with that. And one of the keys of the law of attraction is that you will create easier when you have emotions with it. Say, feel it, like you have to feel it. The feeling is the secret, remember? So, but if you feel all those negative emotions with those negative things, that is the same thing for your for the universe. The universe doesn't understand good or bad. The universe said, oh, a very powerful feeling with a very powerful picture. Let's create it. And that's why a lot of people don't get out of their cycle of negativity, because they keep on creating it over and over and over again.
all right. Best place again to find information on you is go where?
Go to my YouTube channel, Rika Rivka Markel.
All right. Rika, great conversation. Look forward to talking to you next week. Take care.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
All right. You're listening and watching The Neil Haley Show. We'll be back in just a moment.